Welcome to another Sunday Q&A. So I've just been working on the charger and doing a bunch of other stuff. I helped Sean out yesterday with he needed to pull an engine at U-Pull because he got a charger, but it's I think it's like an '08 or '09. So not like the newer style, but he's just going to throw another 3.5 in it, get it running. We found one that was so-so, and yeah, it was fun to go to U-Pull. I like going and seeing what they have. I like to go the one in Aurora because it seems like they have a lot more stuff. But they had like a 2020 um, Ford Edge. I think it was an Edge or a Flex or something like that with a 4-cylinder. If it would have had an EcoBoost, I would have most likely just pulled that thing out like a V6 EcoBoost. But yeah, the charger, I was working on the steering shaft today, so it should be getting close. I mean, got the steering column all finalized, and then I need to just get um I don't know if that one CV U joint or CV steering joint is going to work because it's so thick, it makes it go up so high. If it wasn't so thick, it would be down lower and it'd work perfectly. But yeah, it's way too high up, which causes a big issue because then it's at too great of an angle, even though it has like almost 90 degrees of angle. It's probably like 75 or something, but it's just not enough to not be there. So I'm probably gonna have to do something with the steering shaft so it gets supported. And yeah, hopefully I could get that stuff done this week, get the whole steering system all welded up, and then I could focus on finally doing the headers because I didn't want to do the headers until the steering shaft was done, and now I finally have the steering shaft almost done. And then once the headers are done, we could do the exhaust and the fuel tank, and yeah, once the exhaust is done, then I could put the drive shaft in. I should have the next set of brake lines this week, hopefully. And then I haven't got a shipping notification, so hopefully this week I get them. Then I could get all that brake line stuff done, and we'll be ready to drive it. I'm so ready to drive the car, and then I could start working on a bunch of other stuff, like getting this other Hellcat engine in the other Magnum. And I thought the subscriber was going to be coming this week to work on his car, but I don't know. I haven't heard from him, so hopefully he comes. We could get that thing busted out, and it should be pretty simple. I think it's just going to be swap wiring harnesses and redo a bunch of stuff that was just routed weird, and then I could go through everything and make sure it's all connected correctly. We're gonna have to check the tranny, make sure it's good, check the engine, make sure it's good still, and the diff is definitely bad because it was towed on a tow dolly all the way from Michigan. So long way to be towed with a drive shaft in. The diff is cracked down the side, which I've seen this happen before. My friend, or an old friend in college, towed his 240 from Connecticut, and it pretty much just nuked the transmission and nuked the diff too. And then his engine he had to rebuild because it spun the engine backwards the whole time. But hopefully, since this one's an automatic, it didn't do anything to the engine, and hopefully the transmission's okay too, because a diff will be really easy to just throw in there. But it'll be nice to finally have that car done and have it out of the way, and then I could get this other Magnum done, and I could get the blue car done, and then I can start working on some other stuff, which will be a lot of fun. I want to get the Grand Prix transmission out so I could figure out what's going on with it. I think it just needs some solenoids so the valve body will actually shift. I think that's what's going on with that. The GTO doing great, so I should be able to take that to the drags once the drags open, and then I want to take the Grand Prix. But if I have to build the transmission in the Grand Prix, that might be a whole ordeal. So I have a spare core transmission I might end up building, and then everything will be ready to go. I won't ever have to worry about the transmission again. And that'll be just like peace of mind, because I don't want to throw all the turbo stuff on the car until I get this whole transmission bug situation fixed. So let's see. Mike, what's going on? How's the Magnum coming along? I got one I want to build. It's just chilling. I've been working on it. I put all the I made a bunch of brackets and had Sencut. Well, I designed a bunch of brackets, had Sencut Sen make them to hold all like the modules from the Durango in there, so they're not just like laying on the floor and not held up. And I don't like stuff rattling around when I drive. So I think that's the biggest thing when I'm driving my truck around and I have something in the bed. It's just like it just irritates me so bad to have something in the bed sliding around. Um, like if you just throw like something in there, like a radiator or something, and it's like hopping around when you're going over bumps. It's just I don't know what it is about it. It just bothers me. But good evening from Lakeland, Florida. What's going on? I'll be somewhere around there next week. So if anybody in Florida wants to meet up, greetings from New Zealand, Dave. What's going on, Patrick? How are you getting on finding a piece of land for the house shop build, or are you pretty comfortable at the junkyard? No, I definitely don't want to be at the junkyard too much longer. I mean, the junkyard's a short-term solution. The original plan, I was supposed to buy the junkyard, and then the whole deal fell through, and it just, I mean, I should have bought another junkyard when I had the chance. Didn't work out, but I think the best thing is just going to be to find, a good piece of property and build like a shop house on it, because, at the end of the day, I'm just wasting like, I don't know, I'm wasting like 30 something thousand, like $35,000 a year paying rent, which is stupid. So, yeah, and it's just, it wasn't, I was supposed to buy the building, and it just, it's just dumb. So yeah, hopefully I'm just still like waiting, like I've said in previous live streams and videos, I'm just waiting for the market to kind of even out, because it definitely still has a long way to go, and I'm not a person to buy at the peak, which it's nowhere near the peak anymore, but it's still pretty high up there. I mean, stuff is still a lot more expensive than it was 2 years ago, but I've seen houses come down to like pricing that it was last year. So it's going to continue to go down because they keep raising interest rates. How's the VW coming? I actually messed with it a little bit yesterday. I think what I'm going to have to do, so what I ended up doing was getting this intake manifold for it, because the guy that owns the car didn't want to pay for me to build like a billet intake manifold. So I got this one. It was like 500, I think it was like 500 something bucks. But the issue is it's like these things are like 500 bucks, and the injector ports, there's like nothing to hold the injectors up. So when you have them in the fuel rail, which the fuel rail is kind of, I wish I had something that like clipped the injectors in, since they don't have any seats in there. So the fuel rail just bolts to the side of the intake manifold like this. And I think what I'm going to have to do is drill these out bigger, so you can see how crappy they are drilled in there. So what I'm going to do is, this is his old fuel rail, and I'm going to just I'm going to tap this down first, and then I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to put like an Allen in the center, and then I'm going to drill that out and then tap it. So then I could just thread that in, and then I'll have a seat. So then the injector will actually bottom out on something, instead of it trying to, it probably would hold it for a little bit, but eventually the fuel pressure is going to pop the injector out, and it's going to just light the engine, light the car on fire. It won't be a good day. So I don't want my friend's car to burn to the ground, because it's a rare car, and that's not what I do. So shouldn't take too much longer. I'll probably do this after I get back from Florida, and just, run a die down that, cut it off, do the same thing on there, run a tap in there, and we'll resolve that issue. I have the throttle body, everything ready for that. So all I have to do is do the intake manifold, bolt all this stuff together, and then I can wire Mega Squirt on it. And this will also be out of the shop, which will be really nice. So I'm trying to get more space in here, just so I don't have just a bunch of random stuff around that I'm not, that's not mine. I've been storing it for my friend for like free for like 2.5 years. So it's just it's time to be done, and just kind of be done, so I don't have to look at it and doesn't have to be in the way. Let's see. Why don't you finish the Durango? You have all the parts. I do not have all the parts. I'm still waiting on 2 wiring harnesses that I ordered, and I don't want to put the Durango back together, and I don't have paint for it because I'm waiting on a gallon of paint for that, a gallon of paint for the Pulsar GTIR, and also a gallon of paint for the FD. So I've been waiting on the gallons of paint since December. So I was going to order all 3. They didn't have the toner to make them, which is weird that they don't have the toner for the Brilliant Black. I don't understand it, but and I haven't checked for a while, so I probably need to call my friend and see. I called them like 2 months ago to check on the paint, and they still didn't have the toners. But the wiring harnesses, the biggest issue with those is I don't want to put the interior in the car because I need to put that interior wiring harness on, which I don't have. It's still on order. It's been a year, which is crazy. And the other one is the underbody wiring harness. So I have to pull the fuel tank, pull the rear subframe to put that wiring harness in. So I don't want to do that because then I have to pull everything back out to put the wiring harness in that I still don't have. So I've been waiting for both those wiring harnesses. It's just a nightmare. So that's why I've been working on the Charger, but then I'm having parts issues with that. And then I'm trying to work on other stuff. That's why I've worked on the Grand Prix and been doing, trying to continue to create content. I think the biggest issue that I ran into was I focused so much on just trying to finish the Charger that I wouldn't put videos out unless I had a Charger video, which killed the channel. And it was just really difficult because I'm trying to do videos, there isn't parts, and then it's just it's not good for anybody. So that's why I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be going to Florida next week to help my friend Chris. We're going to go get a car, drive it back, which is going to be fun. And then I don't know, I might meet up with some people. I'm also going to be going to meet up with Sarah in Tucson, probably by the end of this month. It's the second today. I think it's the second. So the end of this month, probably going out there. She wanted me to help her with some body work, so probably do that. And then I'm just kind of tired of just working on the Charger and just stuck in this shop and not literally not doing anything. So when I get parts, I'll work on it. But if I don't have parts, there's no reason for me to just dread stuff, because it's just not worth it. So Charger will get done when it gets done, and I can't wait to drive it. I really want to drive the car. But like I've said in previous live streams, I'm pretty much kind of changing my channel up. Just it's going to be car stuff still, but I want to do more stuff. I just all last year was just working on the Charger and not really getting anywhere, or to me it really didn't seem like I got anywhere. I did make plenty of progress because the drivetrain's in there, both subframes are done, all the suspension's done, but I could have done so much more because half the time I was waiting on parts and just what do I do? So let's see. Hi Dave, love the vids, thanks. I built my first Magnum back in 13 with the Couture body kit, but I had to sell it, so I finally got another Magnum about a year ago. You took yours to the next level, bro. Take your time. Love it. Thanks. How's the GTO? The GTO is great. I drove it last Sunday. I took my grandma to dinner with it, and it did great. Other than the hood, I mean, I guess you just spray the latch with WD-40, but I couldn't get the hood to close, and it just yeah, so it took me like probably like 10 solid minutes of slamming the hood to finally get it to latch. For some reason, I don't know what the deal is with the GTO, but the key won't come out of it unless you disconnect the battery. Then you can pull the key out. So that's why I had to open the hood. It was just, I don't know. I need to figure out what's going on with that so I could not have to open the hood all the time to disconnect the battery to pull the key out. Keep looking, the right place will pop up for you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on, is like something something coming up soon. I mean, there has to be a bunch of stuff. I just look at like what's going on, and people, it just reminds me too much of what happened in '08. Just like way too much. Like the same exact thing happened. Everybody was just like buying everything on credit. They're like buying all their cars on credit, like cars they couldn't afford. And then like they couldn't make their house payments, but they wanted to get to work, so they had to drive their car. And it just like the car that they couldn't afford or couldn't pay for gas to drive is just same thing. I mean, it's just a lot of people say that there isn't any comparisons, but every time I'm just like looking around at stuff, it's just like, yeah, this is the exact same thing that happened. Like gas went up super high, for no reason at all. Because I remember when I was in high school, I was paying like, I remember one time I had like a sock full of like quarters and pennies, and I bought like 5 gallons of gas because the gas was like $1.25 or something. And that wasn't that long ago. That was in like oh 05, oh 06, oh 05, something like that. Yeah, probably oh 06. And then in oh 07, like gas was like almost like 3 bucks, and then in oh 08 it was like 4 bucks. So yeah, and now it's like the same thing. It's like 4 bucks again. See, the market is definitely going to continue to come your way. Yeah, I can see it. I see there's this guy. I went to high school with his. Well, I went to high school with this guy. His parents had a house that's kind of down the street from my house, and they wanted like literally they wanted $1.2 million for this house. It's like not. It's not even a $300,000 house, and so it's been for sale for I'd say about a year and a half now. They like missed the boat. They probably could have maybe got like maybe 800,000. But they missed the boat. They had it priced way too high. They wanted 1.2 million. Then it went down to like a million. Then it went down to 900,000. And now it's 600,000. It's still overpriced. It's like a 300 like a $350,000 house. But it's still for sale. Like nobody's buying it because it's overpriced. So yeah, I think it's just gonna I don't think it's gonna come all the way back down to what it was, but I think it's gonna be very, very close. We'll see what happens though. It's definitely Jerome, what's going on? If I want to do a 2018 Hellcat front end on my 2006 Charger, I know I need to have work done on the front fenders. Can I use the existing hood? Um, I've never done that. I have no clue. Do you know anything about the 1.4 turbo engine? I do not. Can you please Chevy Volt a Geo Tracker for me? I well, the Chevy Volt that I had was a 4-cylinder, and the transmission had the electric motor in it. So I don't know if they have ones that are full electric or not. But I don't have the engine anymore. I don't have like half the stuff. So um, which is weird because yeah, I have the battery pack up there. How am I doing? Not too bad. How are you doing? Getting out of the shop is definitely a good idea, particularly after all that wiring. Yeah, that is yeah. Yeah. I want to see you build an old school. Well, I don't know what your definition of like old school is, but I'm probably gonna do my 240Z. It's probably not what you're talking about. You probably want like a old school muscle car, but and I was looking at some old school muscle cars too. When me and Sean were going to pick up some bike parts yesterday, there was a convertible SS, like a 60 like 8. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind having something like that. I don't know. What what's your plans for interior plastic for the rear hatch? So most of the Magnum stuff will work, and I think I'll just have to make like a custom like mid piece from the bottom up. And I could do all that stuff with, fiberglass and pieces of the charger, um, interior stuff. So I don't think that it'll be that big of a deal. Let's see. Whatever you do, I'm still going to follow you. Thanks. Would you ever take a Buick with a 3800 series to block and build it? I don't know. I like the LS4. We need some RX-7 FD content. Yeah, that's an understatement. We definitely do. I definitely want to paint the engine bay so I can get everything back in the car. I also want to I pretty much want to do a bunch of engine bays. So I need to do the Pulsar GTIR. I need to do the FD. I need to do the Durango. I need to do that other Magnum. So that'll probably be coming up soon. Probably like in the next maybe month and a half, because I want to get all that stuff done. I need to get that Magnum engine bay sprayed so I can get this Hellcat engine in it. But I also want to undercoat the car, so I'll do that. I also want to undercoat the Durango, so I want to do that, and I also want to do the FD and the Pulsar. But the Pulsar needs some rust fixed. The other three are ready to go. So I just need to pretty much not wire wheel them, but they have those nylon composite wheels. I just need to do that, undercoat it, do the engine bay, and then I can pretty much, the FD, I'll be able to put everything back in and wire up the Haltech, and she should be good. We'll have to drain the fuel out of it because it's been sitting a while, but besides that, I think everything else will be ready to go. Let's see. Do you think you'll ever finish the Hellcat wagon? I mean, eventually I'll finish it. How's that Blue Beast coming along? It's coming good. Just was messing with the steering shaft. I got the column done. I just need to. I might have to do like a. So the Trackhawk steering rack, it comes out at like this. I don't know. I'd say like a 5-degree angle, and I think I might have to do a double U-joint off of that, and then come up and then have another U-joint and then have it go to the steering column, because it's just too great of an angle, and it's just giving me a lot of problems. Plus, if I do that CV steering joint was great, but it was kind of bulky and big, and yeah, then I could get rid of that and kind of go from there. I might end up using the factory Durango Hellcat headers or exhaust manifolds, Cerakote those, and then just do the exhaust, get it running and driving. And then when I revise a bunch of stuff, I'm probably going to end up doing a different steering rack when I do the dry sump and the 426. And then I could do some 2-inch collectors on the like new exhaust manifolds and do like some like billet CNC flanges and make them really nice headers, instead of all the, pretty much everything you buy is just kind of like junk. I mean, not everything, but like all the header companies, they're just like these super thin flanges. They're, I don't know, they're just, to me, they're like good mass produced headers, but to me, it's like not a nice aftermarket set of headers. Like nothing on the market that I've seen for like Hellcats is that great. It's just all like, for headers, it all seems mediocre. Even like you're paying like $1,900 for a set of headers, like good headers for a Hellcat, but you get like mild steel flanges, The rest is like the tubing stainless steel. It's not how I like to do stuff. So yeah, and I've already designed the flanges. Plus, then it'll go from the D port, transition to a 2 inch, like perfect 2 inch circle. So I could just have Hayden weld the tube right to it. It's not a bunch of like forming the tube into like this D. It just, I don't know. It just bothers me. It just bothers me. Let's see. Good to see you put some of your signs up on the wall out of the way. Yeah, I actually did I make a video of it? Because there's one there. I was make no, I don't think I ever posted it. So I was like making a video of like putting the signs up and cleaning up some of the shop, and I never made a video. I like recorded a bunch of stuff, but I think what happened was this stupid pump for the parts washer, I can't figure out. I thought this shaft might have been like pressed on. So this pump is seized. So the motor's good, or it might actually not be good anymore. But this is the pump part. It's like seized on there. It won't turn. So I thought this shaft, it had a nut on there. I pulled the nut. I thought you just had to press that out. I tried to press it with the press, and I didn't want to break these ears off. So I don't know if there's like some other way to get that off, but I looked for set screws, couldn't see any screws or anything like that. So yeah, if I could get this pump to work, then my parts washer would work. And that's what happened with the video. I like stopped at that, and I was like, well, I can't finish the video because I can't get that apart. And then I just guess I never posted it. So let's see. Hello, Dave. What's going on? You should be an economic commentator. I don't know about that. What's up, Dave? Not much. What's going on? What's good, Dave? Same old stuff. Since you do so much custom work to the wagon, why did you not go with a manual? So a lot of people ask me why I didn't do a manual in the wagon. It's because they don't make a manual all-wheel drive transmission that fits behind the Hemi. I'd have to do something completely custom, which I really don't want to have to do. But at this point, it's also custom. I should have just done it because it would have probably been a smaller transfer case, but it might not have been. But it's just nice because I don't know. I mean, it would have been cool that it was like manual all-wheel drive, but it's cool that it's auto. I mean, it's going to shift. Those trannies are really, really good. So it's going to shift super fast. Any updates on the dash you made? No, not really. I haven't put I bought everything to build like this super expensive computer, and I haven't had time to put it together. So it's just all this stuff's just in boxes, just sitting there. Can you update us on the shop lights? Are they still working? Did the color change? Flickering? No, I haven't got any flickering yet. I just literally use the ones in the section that I'm in, and I have those ones over there off. But yeah, they're so far so good. I mean, I'm very pleased with them. They keep the shop nice and bright. I don't have to like use a bunch of flashlights everywhere. When I'm in the car, I still do, but it's and underneath, but it's so much better than it was before. If I need to do like the other side, I don't really go in there very much to work on stuff, but when I do, it's kind of dark because those older lights they're just all blue and yellow, and they don't put out very much light, and they're super like loud. And then they like during the summer they make a lot of heat, so then it heats stuff up. During the winter it really doesn't matter, but it's going to be the summer soon. So have you sorted the YouTube algorithm yet, getting your vids out? So no, I don't understand what the deal is with it, because actually I know exactly what the deal with it is. And I should have never done it, but YouTube was saying that they were going to start pushing shorts and that you should start posting shorts on your YouTube channel. And so I started posting shorts. But the issue with shorts is they don't get very many views. And I don't think YouTube differentiates shorts from actual videos. So when it sees that your shorts aren't getting very many views, then it starts making your normal videos not get any views. And now, I started doing that in November. And I noticed after my SEMA video with the charger, it got like 160,000 views. And all my videos before that were getting really good views. And then I started posting shorts and my views started going down, 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 down. And now it's like awful. So I pretty much deleted all my shorts off my channel because I didn't want to have them on there because they weren't doing anything. I almost want to make a video about it, but they don't help your channel. Unless you start a channel and that's all you do is shorts, which that's not really going to do anything for you because it's just like TikTok. Just go on TikTok and post TikToks because, the whole YouTube shorts thing just, I think, is what happened with my whole like thing. So I deleted them and it seems like my views are slowly starting to go up, but it's just like slowly starting to recommend my videos. So I posted probably last week and the week before I posted dailies. And then this week I would have posted dailies, but it takes me 3 days to upload a video because the internet where I live is literally that bad. So I always have like a few videos going, but when the internet gets really bad, then my videos catch up and then I don't have videos for you guys. So it's not working on the stuff isn't the hardest part. I think I spend more time trying to upload the videos than I do trying to like make the content. I think that's what stresses me out because I pay for good internet and I pay for good internet on my phone as well. So I could upload videos. And then you get like, I pay for 100 up and 100 down. In my phone, I get like full high speed is what I'm paying for and mobile hotspot. And that's like $150 a month or something. So I could have that. And then last month almost at the middle of the month, my house internet and my phone internet was getting like upload was literally like 0.5 megabytes a second. But then it like times out because then it sees you're uploading a video for some reason. And then it like throttles you down and then it doesn't even upload at 5 megabytes a second. It just like times out. So yeah. So I had a bunch of videos. If you guys haven't watched them yet, there was like probably at least 7 videos of a bunch of different projects, updates on them, what I'm doing. There's charger videos, there's GTO videos. So, and then there's like a video of Sean, like we're hanging out and doing stuff. So if you haven't seen them, they're there. YouTube probably just didn't tell you that they're there. So as since I've deleted all those shorts, my channel's, the views are going to start going back up because it's, I think it's, going to see that I have more interaction with my videos instead of like the shorts that didn't have anything because nobody really cares about watching shorts on YouTube. So, so it's just kind of, it's just kind of dumb because I've gotten like I did a poll and probably like 30 to 50% of the people said that they don't get notifications or even know that I've posted videos. They're like, I didn't even know you posted a video this month. And it's the end of the month. I'm sure I posted at least like 4 of them. Let's see. Would be good to see the rust repair. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do rust repair on the floor pan, because I don't want to have to, for one, find a floor. And then I don't really want to, replace the whole floor because that'd be a nightmare. But there's a few spots that previously had repair done and then there's a few like rust holes that need to be fixed on the floor. So I think what I'll do is I'll just like make a patch panel, TIG weld it in, and then make sure everything's nice and clean. I'll undercoat the underneath of the car so I don't have to worry about rust ever again. And then I'm gonna, on the Pulsar and the FD and stuff like that, I'll paint the whole interior the same color as the outside of the car. I'm gonna do the same thing with the Durango. I'm gonna paint the whole interior the same color as the outside of the car, just so it all matches, because I don't want it to, I don't want it to be gray inside, even though you're never gonna see it. But plus, there's a lot of welding spots where I welded, the pinch welds and the spot welds where I plug welded them on the backside. There's, the paint gets hot and then it flakes off. So I want to make sure everything is painted nice and not, not going to have any issues later on with rust or anything like that. Even if I sell the car, I don't want to have to worry about it or have anybody else like, oh yeah, somebody fixed this, and then they didn't paint any of this stuff and it all rusted. Plans to repaint the GTO? Probably not right now. It runs and drives. I'll probably get, I want to get a bunch of other stuff painted and and done and kind of go from there. When I do paint the GTO though, I want to paint the engine bay. I like painting the engine bays of cars because it just like the factory doesn't spray clear on half the engine bay and it just looks so much better. And then, undercoating it makes it look a lot better, and then you don't have to worry about rust or anything like that. Even though it's a dry climate here and we don't use salt on the roads, stuff still rusts. It's just crazy to, it's just like everywhere. I was watching this video of like this tunnel that was like a World War II like bomb shelter or a fallout shelter, and they had like these bicycles there, and they just opened these back up and they're like completely rusted. There's no moisture, no water. I guess there must have been moisture and water, but they're just so old that they just like rusted away. And it's just crazy to think that it just like attacks. It's just like like the just chemical reaction. It's just crazy how it gets back and gets into everything. Finish the 3000 GT. Yes, that definitely needs to happen. What are your plans on other builds you may think of doing? So I definitely want to get the Grand Prix done because that's going to be a pretty cool car. I'm just waiting on some stuff for the Tesla drive unit. So plus I want to get that transmission fixed and get all those bugs worked out. So I know that the the tranny shifting and the engine's going to run good and stuff like that. What's the status on the new rims for the GTO? I've been looking for wheels for that car, and I can't find anything that like that I think would look good on it. Like everything I see, I'm just like, nah, even stuff that looks good on Hellcats. I thought about like, what would it look like on the GTO? And it's just like, no, it's just weird. The back of the GTO, how the wheel sits and how that arch is, it just like wheel options are just maybe I was thinking like some CCWs for it, but even then like a super mesh wheel on it would just look, I don't know, it just wouldn't look right. I was almost thinking maybe just get some drag wheels and just put some drag wheels on it and just leave it like that. I mean, I've looked at a few different style wheels, and every time I look at drag wheels, I'm like, these will look good on the GTO. So you need a Starlink internet so your ISP won't be able to throttle your internet. Yeah, I was also thinking about setting up a VPN so they can't throttle me either, but I wanted to get Starlink. I should have done it a year and a half ago. I signed up for it, and then I ended up canceling it, and then I was going to get it, and then it wouldn't let me get it because I canceled or something. So, and they said that in my area they had enough people to to do the test. I was like, damn, I should have just not canceled it. Will there be an option on the wagon to disengage the front tires so it's rear wheel drive to do burnouts? Yes, there. I want to make it so it works through the center display, so I could turn it off. But yeah, either way, I'll be able to turn the transfer case off because it's electronically controlled. Would you do a Dodge Ram 1500 build, and what would you use for the motor? I don't know. I'm not sure. I bet I looked at it. I saw a Dodge 1500. It was a what was it? It was like an 04-ish or something like that. Maybe it was an 05, 06. But yeah, I don't know. I was almost gonna go pick it up, and then I was like, I need to finish some stuff before I pick up another project. I want to get a bunch of stuff done. Like I want to get the charger done. That's yeah, it's something I really want to do and actually drive. Hey Dave, whatever happened to your brake line dilemma on the wagon? So the brake lines, the company's remaking them, but I haven't got a shipping notification, so I don't know if they've shipped yet. I was supposed to have them. I think I was supposed to have them tomorrow, which I don't think I didn't see a shipping notification, so that's probably not going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I need to get the brake lines in the car so then I could do some stuff. That's another thing with the steering shaft. I need to measure and make sure I don't make the steering shaft up too high because I don't have the brake lines in there, and I thought I'd have them already in the car because I was going to do the brake lines, I was going to do the steering shaft, and then I was going to do the headers. But it didn't work out that way. I'd love to see you finish the car because it's a cool car. Thanks. Yeah, I definitely want to drive it. A lot of people always on my videos are always like, yeah, I don't know why you don't finish the car. I don't know why you don't finish the car. It's like, I'm trying. So, but yeah, I have the steering column finally done. I have the Hellcat steering wheel in here just to test fit it, make sure I like where it was at. I have the seat rails kind of figured out. So these are the ones that I tried and they really weren't working well. So what I ended up doing, or what I'm going to end up doing, is I have this piece from the charger seat rail, or the charger seat, and I'm going to use this so it mounts, or so it welds to the Alfa Romeo seat, and then everything will be nice and located in. I'm going to get rid of these bars after I weld it to the Alfa Romeo brackets, so then everything will just be perfect. It'll bolt right in the car. I won't have to worry about anything with the seat, and then I'll be far enough over and it won't be so far to the center of the car. I think the Alfa Romeos have a thinner tranny tunnel. That's why the seats push so much further over, and it might not be as wide of a car. That could also be why the seat rails are pushed so far over. And then I'll have the seat in there, and then I just need to get some pins, and all these wires right here are for the speakers and all the grounds. So I'll get all that stuff tied in. And once I get the brake lines, I'll finish up the wiring for the ABS pump, which all this wiring right here will be gone. The ABS pump will be in there. The brake lines will all be in there. And then the steering shaft, I just need to, you can see this right down here. It's like a 5 or 10 degree angle coming up. It's weird that they did that on the Trackhawk, but I guess since it's in an SUV, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of, it's already 4:25. I need to go home. I'm going to end the live stream here. Thanks for tuning in. I will have a video. Me and Sean went to U-Pull yesterday, which was kind of fun, but I'll have a video tomorrow, if YouTube doesn't notify you, it will be, I hope my internet, I hope I've been uploading this whole time I've been at the junkyard, but should be up at 8 a.m. Check it out. As always, see you guys next week.